Hello everyone, another Narc Survivor live video. I'm on the balcony, just looking out at the beach. I've done quite a few videos on this topic, how the narcissist just wants to destroy you. Those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you may remember one of my first videos was the narcissist wants to destroy you. And this is very true, especially later on in the relationship, or this could even happen at the beginning as well. It could be a narcissist you've only seen just one time, and already they're on your case, they're seeking to destroy you. Or it may be someone that you've never even spoken to, but they've heard about you or they know you from somewhere else, and they don't like you. Now they want to destroy you. But let's talk about why. Because clearly people don't just want to go out of their way to destroy someone for no reason. There has to be a motivation, or at the very least some form of incentive. And probably in the majority of situations, it's not purely an incentive. It is more of a motivation and a desire stemming from very intense negative emotions. So, as I've talked about before, yes, it is most definitely envy and jealousy, which they will reveal to you at some point when they desire to take something away from you, or they feel like you're taking something away from them, when in fact it may be something that rightfully belongs to you, something that you have worked for, you have earned, and yet in their minds they still feel like it's theirs because they see you as an extension of them, or as an object that exists to meet their needs. So they have difficulty with recognizing boundaries and separation. In their minds, it's just everything is theirs, everything belongs to them. They have a very strong sense of entitlement. And what you may not realize, and I've spoken about this before as well, but this is a big part of it. The reality is that when it seems like they're really on your case, they're very angry, and they're looking to hurt you, or maybe to reject you, devalue you, and make you feel like you're nothing, or even to triangulate you with someone else and try to make you envious or jealous. When they're doing all of these things, their true motive and their unreasoning desire, this actually comes from the belief or the fact that you have already rejected them. You may have rejected them as a person, their proposals or ideas, something they said or did, or you may have just rejected their way of life. And I'm not saying this to say that you are responsible for the way that they behave. Of course not. We are all responsible for our own actions. But it's just that a lot of times narcissists are hypersensitive. So you may have said or did something that you may have thought that it was okay. You may have not intended to hurt or offend them, but they most definitely took it the wrong way. And they felt like you rejected them, or they could never be enough for you. You would never want them. And it could just be the way that you choose to live your life. Maybe you set very high standards and expectations for yourself. Maybe you were brought up in a very nice, clean environment, and they didn't have that. So they're already looking at it as though you're above them. You're better than them. They could never be enough for you. So they already feel rejected. And it could just be the way that you take care of yourself. It could be simple things like that. And yeah, it just makes them feel like they're not good enough. And they begin to ruminate about it. They develop these obsessive thoughts. And they also fantasize a lot as well. They have these fantasies in their minds where they over-exaggerate who you are, where you're from, and the things that you have done. They see it as so much more than what it actually is. Or sometimes it may be quite accurate. But even then, it still has an effect on them. And they don't like it. And yet a lot of you, maybe if you cared about this particular person, you loved them, you may be looking at it like they've rejected you. They don't want anything to do with you. And they may have portrayed this false character and the illusion. They may have seemed like these amazing people, and yet they cut you out, and now you feel like you're missing out on something. When actually, it really is the other way around. They feel rejected by you. Otherwise, there would be no problem. They don't just act that way for nothing. As I said, there is a motivation. It's coming from an unreasoning desire for revenge. And people don't want revenge for no reason. Even if they do have a mental illness, it's still coming from somewhere. It's not just for no apparent reason. There's always a motivation, a desire. And as I said, yes, they are very envious and jealous of you. They feel rejected by you. They feel like they could never be enough. They feel like you don't want them. Which is why a lot of times, yes, they will go out of their way to try to destroy you. To show you that everything that they think that you think makes you rather so much better and greater, more special and more important, more different than them. All of these things, it's like, let's see how special, how great, how different you think you are. Once I take all of this away from you, once I destroy you and put you beneath me, it's how they think. As sick as that sounds. Because you are unknowingly showing them everything that they are not. Everything they wish they could be. And a lot of you, you may not even realize it because you may be empaths. And if they had just come to you and said they want something from you, They just want to spend time with you, talk to you, be a part of something with you. I already know a lot of you would have given them a chance. If they were polite, if they had treated you with respect. But no, they had to go and do it their way. And when they do those types of things, of course, it's very difficult to forgive. It's very hard to forgive someone like that. Once they've shown that they don't appreciate or respect you, and they have the ability to do these things to you. And with these types of narcissists, there's just never going to be any respect. They can't respect someone who they deem to be superior to them. And a lot of them, yes, they actually believe that you think you're better than them. So they want to show you, they want to prove to you, and prove to themselves as well, that no, they can be better than you. And typically because they feel so insignificant and inferior on their own, they will typically team up with other people to target and destroy you. And it's just very sad. It's not right at all. But this is just what they do. They will seek to harm and destroy you, to show you that you're not as special as you think. You're not as great as you think you are. And it gives them power. When they control you, they contain you, they isolate you. They try to destroy every aspect of your life. Just to try to make you feel small, beneath them. And just what they're doing, that should tell you everything that you need to know. Because if they genuinely believe that a person isn't that special, unique, or different, they're not any greater than them. They're not even going to notice you. They're not going to target you. They're not going to seek to destroy you. They're not going to be envious and jealous of you. They're not going to triangulate you or try to make you envious or jealous of them. That all comes from feelings of inferiority. Yes, they feel inferior to you. They feel like they could never measure up to you. So it's all about targeting you, containing you, and trying to destroy you. So that you can't continue to prove and show why, yes, in fact, they are nothing in comparison to you. And I am very sorry for anyone who has to go through that. Because I know what it's like. I mean, I've always known from a very young age that, yes, I am very special. Which is why pretty much my entire life I always tended to isolate. Because I always knew that people would become very envious and jealous of me. And I'm sure it's the same thing for a lot of you as well who watch my videos. And it's really sad when these things happen. Because you had so much potential. You could have been so much more if you weren't around such an envious, hateful person. I mean, when I see that, And I have seen it a few times in my life already. When I see someone who is so full of light, so full of energy, and they look like they're ready to take on the world. All I wanted to do is appreciate that and uplift them. To share with them all of my wisdom and experience, so that they could become the best person that they could be. But unfortunately, when narcissists see that, they do get very envious and they do desire to destroy it. And I'm sure that a lot of you have experienced that as well. So many dreams left unfulfilled. So many things that could have been. And we may never know what these things could have amounted to. Which is why, in fact, yes, it is also very self-destructive. These narcissists end up destroying people who could have helped them, people who would have supported them. And not only that, but when you waste all of your life, your time, your energy, focusing on what someone else is doing, you're just wasting your own life. You know, some of these narcissists, the disorder can't completely change. It will always keep coming back. But other than the disorder, they could have amounted to something. They could have achieved something with their lives if they didn't devote all of this time and energy to things that they are envious or jealous of. So it's not just the victim or the target. This affects everyone. Because especially all of these feelings and emotions that they harbor inside of them. These things, yes, they do get inherited by their children as well. So a lot of them, they've already doomed generations to come, just from their own envy and jealousy that they can't control. And yes, I do find it very sad. They just feel like everything is so unfair. Like they never got to have the rights or privileges that you got. So why shouldn't they try to take it away from you or try to destroy you? And I think what it is, it's really that belief that they're never going to get it. They're never going to achieve anything. Because what stops a normal, healthy person? Because no one is immune to these feelings, envy or jealousy. Everyone will experience these emotions at some point in time. And what stops us is knowing that, okay, maybe while we may not have this right now, we know that at some point in the future, we are going to go out and get it, because we know that we are capable of doing that. And for some of us as well, we may initially desire to have something, and we may conclude that, in fact, maybe we will never get to have it. But even then, it's okay. Because we know we don't need all of these things outside of ourselves to complete us. Narcissists have a void. When they feel envious or jealous of something, they have to have it. Even if they haven't worked for it or earned it, they have a strong sense of entitlement. And they genuinely believe that these things outside of themselves are going to complete them. That's why they're so irritated, bothered, and confused when they feel slighted or rejected by you. That's why they come after you. Because they really believe that, yes, you could have been this person who changed their life, who completed them. But you didn't want to go along with it. You didn't want to do that. So now they hate you, they reject you. Because unknowingly to you, you have already rejected them. And once you've done that, it is too late. They already have these feelings of bitterness, resentment, and indignation towards you, to where there is no way that you can go back. They can hold grudges for life. Because now you know. And I think you always knew, deep down. You may not have spoken about it, but you recognize that, yes, everything they do, it's because they feel like they're not enough. And instead of just going out and doing things and achieving things to feel like they are enough, or even just going within and validating and affirming to themselves, instead of doing these things, no, they gotta put it onto you. They've gotta make you feel small. They've got to envy you and try to destroy you. Because it all comes back to how they feel about themselves. And they're using you to regulate their own emotions. I take my YouTube plaque with me everywhere I go. And of course, my little Pikachu as well. I got this in Japan. But my own little Pikachu, Nala, she is still in Malaysia. She's actually been there now for over a year. But I think she enjoys it. She likes traveling with me as well. But it was very difficult to get her here. It would have taken a very long time. But yeah, it's a nice little beach here. Out in Vietnam. I'm going to go out now and explore. Thanks for the donation there, Timo Weema. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm going to go out and explore now. But I'd just like to thank you all for watching. And I may have another live video as well later today. So thank you all. And I look forward to talking with you again